A few months ago, I saw a news story that really got my attention as a dad. Two teens from Ohio were in criminal court. One was 14, the other one was 15. The older boy had posted on his Facebook page, this is what he said: "If things don't change around this school, I'm going to go Columbine on this place." The younger boy had liked his statement on Facebook, which you can do, and he also added two words. He added, "Me too." They were, of course, referring to the Columbine high school tragedy of 1999. Literally, less than 24 hours later, both were standing before a judge, their parents behind them in tears. 16 angry words that they had posted carelessly had landed both these kids in criminal court for uttering death threats. The reality is that these are the days of zero tolerance. Threats like these cannot be taken lightly. Now, having spent some time representing young offenders over the years in a legal practice, I've seen kids who have had to face the consequences of their actions, and they had to own up to their own choices. When I watched this particular case, however, I realized this is the first generation where online activities have real-life consequences. Think about that. The first generation where online activities have real-life consequences. Now, in the 90s, the internet came in and gave us all a sense of safe anonymity, and they also gave us the illusion of privacy. People felt like they could say and do anything online. Not anymore. World-class Olympians have been sent home from the Olympics because they tweeted offensive statements. There's one in particular that didn't even get on the plane, had tweeted an offensive statement, and didn't even get to the Olympics. So let's put that in perspective. You've spent the last, say, 12 to 15 years getting up every morning at 4 o'clock in the morning, getting out practicing. Your parents have probably mortgaged their house twice, maybe 3 times, all to make sure that you get to the Olympic Games. And because you thought something was funny, or you got a laugh or chuckle in the locker room, you decided to post it publicly, you're going home. Disgrace. No medal, no victory. What about the workplace? It's reported that 90% of employers and human resources departments are using social media to pre-screen potential employees. 90%? I would argue that it's probably closer to 99%. Why wouldn't they? It's absolutely free. It costs nothing for an employer or a potential employer to plug your name into Google and bring that up. This creates a whole new problem. Our teens and our new graduates may find themselves disqualified based on, for example, photos that they posted or activities that they were involved with years before. The reality is that they won't know that they didn't get the job. They won't even know that they didn't get the interview, having been disqualified by things that they posted years before. These aren't isolated incidents. There are new stories like this happening every day. So what are we to do about this? As media-wise parents, we can have these discussions in our home. We can prepare our kids to understand that online actions now have real-life consequences. In our home, for example, the rule is don't post anything that you wouldn't want your grandmother to see. For the most part, it works. Now, does that mean that our family's got it all figured out, that we've written the definitive rule book on how to behave online and our kids are falling in line with everything that we have talked about? Not necessarily. I wish. However, we're learning and coping with the ever-changing digital world just like you are. You know, as a kid, we always sang, "Be careful, little mouth, what you say." If they took that song and they updated it, the new lyrics would be, "Be careful, little fingers, what you tweet."